after some after doing some real deep inner thinking and having some great alone time with myself, I now realize who the false prophets are. And in the end times, they say that it's going to be many false prophets that's going to be preaching and talking in the end times. And I now realize that the false prophets who they are talking about is the spiritually awakened people. The one that has spiritually woken up. Those are the one that is going to be considered the false prophets. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we are living in a reality. We are living in a dimension where the majority of the people on the earth, they worship gods and they worship entities, right? So they live their life worshiping and honoring idols, right? And when you become spiritually awakened, you are going to realize that you are your own idol. You are going to realize that you are the God. You are going to realize that you are indeed the Christ. You are going to realize that you are the church. You are the temple, and everything dwells within you. So when these spiritually awakened beings that has now awakened to the program, that has now awakened to the system, that is now fully aware of who they are and where they are and why they are here, they are going to start speaking out against the system. They're going to be speaking out against the program. They're going to speak against idols. They're going to speak about false God. They're going to speak against it. And if you are a person that is speaking against something that the majority of the earth believe in, they're going to consider that person demonic or false. So let me give you an example. If I was a religious woman, right, and everybody in my church, they are all religion just like me, and we are all of the same religion, right? So now all of a sudden I become spiritually awakened. Now I have grown a higher conscious level. I have grown a higher energy and frequency level to where I now know the truth about everything that I was putting all my energy in. I now know the truth of that, right? So I'm gonna go into the same church that I goes in. I'm gonna go into the same church that I go to, and I'm going to start speaking to the people in the church what I now knows. And what I now knows is against what everybody else think and believe. Because now, not only am I going against the church, but I am going against what I used to think when I was a part of the church. So the false prophets are going to speak against the church. It doesn't necessarily mean that the church building. The church is the whole program. It's the whole system. So the awakened being is going to speak against the church. That goes for anything that you believe in, anything that you idolize, anything that you put all your faith and hope in. That is what the church is. So when the spiritually awakened people start speaking against the program, start speaking against the church, they are going to be considered the false prophets because they are going against the program. And the fact that billions of people on this planet don't even know what the program is, you are going to have the people that is going to kill for the program. And you're going to have some people that is going to be totally against the program. So the false prophets that they speak in the Bible in the end times, you got a lot of religion and Christian people think that the ones that is speaking against religion and Christian, they are the false prophets. And then you got the spiritually awakened people. They is thinking that the Christian and religion people are false prophets. So it's basically a fight. It's a fight going on. It's a spiritual war battle that is going on between the Christ and the Antichrist. But the thing about it is, we are not spiritually aware of what kind of war that we are actually dealing with right now. Because you got people on the earth that is speaking against something, and you got the other people that is speaking against something. So it's going to create a separation. This is why we are in the great separation. basically we are in the Third World War. See, the third war is the war on the spirit. We are going through a spiritual warfare right now. And a lot of us is completely aware. This is why now we are in the time where the great awakening is going on. We are living in a time where the Antichrist is about to reveal itself. Because those people that is still indoctrinated, those people that is still in the mind control, those people that is still in the program, they are about to see the God that they have been worshiping. So this is why the Antichrist is about to sit in the third temple, because all of these people that worship a God, that worship an idol, they are about to see who they have been worshiping. And then you have the spiritually awakened people that know that the Christ and that the God is in them. So they are waiting for the energy of Christ to return in them so they can be revealed of the God who they already and always will be. So this is why we are going through a spiritual warfare, because the spiritual warfare is the Antichrist versus the Christ. You got the spirit of the Antichrist that is in billions of people. And then you have the spirit of the Christ that is in billions of people. And what that will do is that is going to have a war. It is going to be a war against the people. And when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, this is what's actually going on. So basically the false prophets that they are speaking of in the Bible is the spiritually awakened people. The spiritually awakened people are the ones at this time that are to be considered the false prophets, because they are going against the system. They are going against the program. So the spiritually awakened people are considered the false prophets. And in the end times, they are going to destroy the false prophet. This is why in the Great Tribulation is going to be war on the saints. So right now, this is why I've been saying for over 2 years now that we are about to be revealed who we really are. It's either you are of the Christ or you is of the Antichrist. And right now, if you are spiritually inclined, you can already see who is of Christ and who is of the Antichrist. So it's really, you can basically see the people for who they really are. You can see the one that is awakened and the ones that is not. And by the look at it, it's more majority of people that is for the Antichrist than actually for the Christ. Because you still have the majority of the people on the earth that still idolize and worship idols and gods and entities. A lot of these people are not going within themselves. And because of that, they're always going to idolize these entities and these gods. So in the end times, we are going to be revealed exactly who we've been worshiping. If you have been worshiping a God, you're going to be revealed your God. If you have been worshiping these entities and these idols, you are about to meet the people that you have been worshiping all this time. But if you have now spiritually awakened to learn that you are the Christ, that you are the God, you are only about to be revealed who you really are. You are about to be revealed the Christ that has always been in you, the God that has always been in you, the truth that has always been in you, while other people is looking towards the sky and throughout the world to look for their Christ, to look for their God, to look for their truth. And meanwhile, you are fully aware that the truth is in you. So this spiritual warfare is going to linger on for a few more years. But when this great reset happened on this planet, everybody's minds is going to be exactly where it's supposed to be. So when this great reset happened, remember where you were standing.